Let's do this. Run that intro. You know what time it is. Run that intro. Yo, welcome back to another episode of GQTV. And I am your host, the one and only, yours truly, your boy, GQ Jamal. And this is where we review, pay homage, and just talk about shows and movies from both past and present. I just want to say thank you again for tuning in, watching this video. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Go like my YouTube channel right now. That is GQ Jamal. Go check out my videos. Go show some love. Like my videos. Subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it if you do. But today, we're going to talk about this show right here. And you know what it is. Run that intro.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene.
Yeah, that's right. Today we're going to talk about this show right here, Family Matters, or the Steve Urkel show, pretty much. Did I do that? Family Matters. What can I say about this show, man? This show was very huge in the late 80s, early 90s. It was a very iconic show. Steve Urkel really made this show. It was a good solid show. Well, that's what I think. Today I'm just going to talk about and review this show. Family Matters was a big show in the 90s. Was one of the biggest black shows in the 90s. That and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Those were the two biggest shows in the 90s. Yeah, out of those two shows, I watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air the most. I love Family Matters, don't get me wrong. I just think the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a better show. It had better episodes. But I'm still going to give Family Matters its praise, I'm just going to tell you its pros and cons. And we're still going to review Family Matters. But let's get into it. Yeah, for those who don't know what the show is about, the show is about the Winslows. They live in Chicago. They live in a house in Chicago. This show is similar to The Cosby Show, My Wife and Kids. Those type of shows, they're a regular family that go through, regular situations. And that's pretty much what the show is about. Alright, so let's talk about the characters of the show. So we have Carl Winslow. Carl Winslow, he's a father. He's a cop. He's very protective towards his family. He's short-tempered, mainly because of Steve. Steve always comes in the house unannounced, breaking stuff. And Carl always gets mad. He just doesn't like Steve, but he grew to love Steve during the series. Then we have Harriet Winslow. Harriet, she's Carl's wife. She represented the black moms during the 90s. Her and Aunt Viv, like I said in the Fresh Prince review, both of those two, they represented the black moms in the 90s. Fun fact, Family Matters is a spin-off series from Perfect Strangers. So Harriet was on that show. I never seen Perfect Strangers, so Family Matters was supposed to be about Harriet. If it wasn't for that character on Perfect Strangers, there wouldn't be no Family Matters. Any family. We had Eddie Winslow. He's a typical jock. He loves basketball. Girls love him. He really doesn't do well in school, but we see at the end of the series, he becomes a cop, just like his dad. Like him and his dad and his mom, they have like a close relationship. He also gets annoyed by Steve. Everybody gets annoyed by Steve, but he's like big brother. He's like a big brother to Steve, like a best friend. He becomes a best friend to Steve. So that's Eddie. And then we have Laura Winslow. Oh, these girls ain't Laura. No, they ain't. These girls ain't Laura. No, for real. Laura Winslow. This character was kind of annoying. Yeah, Laura, she was smarter than Eddie. I just didn't like the way Laura just keep dogging my man Steve. And Steve Urkel was in love with Laura since the kindergarten. And my man Steve kept like chasing after Laura until like the 5th season. Steve Urkel changed into Stefan, like the opposite version of Steve. You know, Steve, he's nerdy, but Stefan is like smooth and gets all the ladies. So Laura, she starts liking Stefan, and Steve, he kind of backs off. But we see at the end of the series, Laura chooses Steve, and they end up getting married at was there a wedding? No, but yeah, I believe they get married at the end of the series. I haven't seen the series finale in a minute, but yeah, that's what happened to both of them. But yeah, I just didn't like the way Laura just dogging him. Soon Steve gets a job, or Steve changes into, popular version. Laura's all over Stefan. I'm like, girl, yeah, she really didn't deserve Steve. She doesn't deserve Steve. So that's why that character was just annoying to me. Then we have Judy Winslow. She was the youngest girl on the show. She was only on the show for like 3 years, and then she never came back down the stairs. They just wrote her off the show. So there's not much to say about let's talk about the biggest star of the show, Jaleel White. He played Urkel. Urkel wasn't even in the first half of season 1. Urkel was just a small character. Like in the second half of season 1, the network liked it, the character, so they bring him back for like more episodes. Then from like season 2 until the finale, he was like in the main cast. So yeah, that character blew up. That character was like huge. That character was so iconic, from his catchphrase, "Did I do that?" Steve Urkel was like a real pain to the Winslows. He be coming in unannounced, just annoying everybody. And I know Carl be getting like pissed off. He be getting pissed. Carl just be chilling. He just be chilling, and here comes Steve, just being annoying as hell. And then he just be destroying stuff because he's a nerd, and he just be tripping over stuff and like destroying everything in the house. And Carl be telling him to go home. And yeah, so that's Steve Urkel. And also Steve Urkel loves cheese. He always come in the house asking, do you have any cheese? Like, do you have any cheese? But yeah, Steve Urkel was something else in my show. Also, Steve Urkel was very good at making inventions. He loved science. Steve Urkel was very good at making these little inventions, these little contraptions, things of that nature. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. But yeah, he's good at inventing stuff like the time capsule and stuff like that. So Steve Urkel was very good at just making inventions. Yeah, Jaleel White, he played multiple characters on that show. He played Steve Urkel. He played Stefan Urkel, the opposite of Steve Urkel, the cool side of him. And he played the Myrtle Urkel. She had a crush on Eddie. And there was like multiple other characters that Jaleel White played in that show. Yeah, Jaleel White, he became a huge star because of Family Matters. And it's sad that after Family Matters ended, he really didn't have that much roles. Like he had like small cameos on other stuff, but he really didn't do too much after Family Matters. Yeah, one of my favorite characters on the show was Waldo. He was Eddie's friend. Yo, Waldo was like the dumbest character ever in the 90s. He was a real airhead. He always be spacing out, just be saying some ignorant stuff, dumb stuff. But we find out that Waldo was good at cooking. So yeah, he was good at cooking, and he can also dance. But yeah, Waldo was like my favorite character on that show. Yeah, so Family Matters premiered on ABC back in 1989. It ran for 9 years. I wasn't old enough to see the TGIF lineup. I heard about it, but I wasn't like old enough. Family Matters came on Fridays. When I first watched Family Matters, I was like around 7 or 8 years old. I remember watching it on the WB and ABC Family. It used to come on like at 6 o'clock in the morning before I get ready for school. What I think about Family Matters, like I said in the beginning, I love Family Matters, but I think The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a better show than Family Matters. I felt like Family Matters wasn't really consistent. I like the first 5, maybe 6 seasons of Family Matters, but then after a while, Urkel was just, the show just centered around Urkel too much. and after a while, it just got annoying. It got annoying. Even just going back to season 1 before Urkel, it was cool. It was cool without Urkel, but you can tell the show wouldn't last without Urkel. Like the first half of season 1, I felt like some of the episodes were kind of dry, kind of boring. But once Steve Urkel popped up in the scene, I believe the show got better, even better. But like I was saying, I feel like Urkel just he just became like a huge character, and like I get it. Every episode was like revolving around Urkel, but after a while, the show just got annoying. It just got annoying, and but Family Matters is still a good show to me. And I give it to Steve Urkel, man. Steve Urkel had girls fighting over him. He had Laura and Myra fighting over him. Steve Urkel was still in love with Laura while he was dating Myra. Steve Urkel had some fine women just fighting over him. Yeah, man. One of my favorite episodes on that show was when Steve Urkel he wanted to learn how to drive. So he goes by a car. It's like one of those clown cars. So he asked Carl to teach him how to drive. And early on that episode, Carl had to like watch his health or something like that. Yeah, so Carl teaches Steve how to drive. And Steve was just making Carl so mad, and he was making Carl so mad, and Carl kept reciting a poem from this like children's book. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? Yeah, that episode was so funny because Steve was just destroying everything, and he pulls up in this little clown car trying to impress Laura, and he just wants to learn how to drive. Yeah, man, that was a good episode. Also, the grandma on that show was one of my favorite characters. Carl's mom, she was one of my favorite characters. She wasn't really on the show that much, but she was one of my favorite characters. But as far as Family Matters goes, I love the first 5 seasons, first 6 seasons of Family Matters. Then after a while, just thought the show was just annoying, and the show just got dumb. It's whenever Orlando Brown was on that show, that's when I stopped watching Family Matters. I will say this, Family Matters had one of the best themes of all time. One of the best like intros and themes. The theme is really catchy. But that's one thing I liked about Family Matters. I love the theme song. What else can I say about Family Matters? Family Matters, it's a solid show. It's a good show. It's a good show. I'm not here to like badmouth this show. It was an iconic show back in its time. It had iconic characters. I just think it ran its course way too long. It ran for 9 seasons, 9 years. I just think Urkel like took over the show. I just didn't like that every episode was just the center of Steve Urkel. Family Matters had some iconic episodes. Some of the episodes were good. Some were dry. Like after like season 6 or 7, it just became corny, and it was all over the place. Storyline was just all over the place, but it was cool to see Steve Urkel finally get his woman of his dreams. And it sucks that there wasn't a 10th season. We didn't get to see them get married. But overall, Family Matters was a good show. It was a good show during its time. And that's all I want to say about Family Matters. Yeah, if you love Family Matters, the show, let me know down below in the comment section. Let me know who was your favorite character, what was your favorite episode. Let me know what did you think about the show itself. If you love it, if you hate it, let me know in the comment section down below. Let's talk about it. If you made it far through this video, I just want to say thank you. Thank you again for tuning in by watching this video. I really appreciate it a lot. Go like my YouTube channel, subscribe to that channel. Go like my videos, go check out my videos, leave some comments, show some love. I really appreciate it. But until next time, this is GQTV, and I am the one and only GQ Jamal. Until next time, everyone, peace.